Just going to double check the Discord, see if anything was said there. And the short answer is nope. These guys have got all of their forces back there. Are you being financed by anyone? Marhold is not. Neither is Adenica. Okay, so what's the small country doing? The small country is financing Lorent. But that's it at the moment. What about your fort situation? Fully maintained forts, 0.66. They could probably do with some more as well, particularly up here. In my humble opinion. Dealing with some separatists as well. So let's see who exactly you're at war with. Right, Eberthil. Has Eberthil done anything to assist them yet? Oh, jeez, Eberthil makes a lot of money out of trade. I thought the small country was raking it in with 177. That's nothing compared to Eberthil's 318. What about Yordland? 172. Yordland's making a ton out of production. Interesting. So Eberthil's industrial, strategic, naval, trade. They could still get plutocratic. Interesting. But this... No, I mean, they have strategic ideas. Their armies aren't going to suck completely. 249 units. 597,000 manpower. Eberthil's a bloody strong state. They just don't like to get involved in wars. Oh, you're fighting Neckcliff. Oh. I had not gathered that that was a war going on right now. Yeah, Neckcliff's fighting against Eberthil's minions over here, so Eberthil's sending all of their troops abroad to fight against Neckcliff. Which is probably going to be a fairly one-sided conflict, seeing as Neckcliff has got 68,000 troops. "13 heavy ships. How is Eberthil's heavy fleet looking?" 250, so Eberthil's looking to become the naval hegemon. All other great powers have less heavy ships than Eberthil. That means there is another great power that has more heavies than they do. Yordland is back on the great power list. I wonder how on earth Yordland lost that in the first place. Like, what happened to knock him off the great power list? Lack of technology, maybe? So how many heavies do you have? 283. Yeah, there is definitely a naval arms race between Yordland and Eberthil right now. And considering how many ships you have, how much is that costing you? Actually, not that much. And your naval force limit is 284. No, sorry, 229. You've built 284. Yours is 288, but you've built 323. However, you have no light ships at all. So all of the trade you get is just because you control all the trade nodes here. And then probably collect here. Yep. Exactly that. Everthil could absolutely shatter their economy by just sending like 200 light ships to move trade out of there. I mean, that's more of a thing that the gnomes could do, because their light ships are just so damn cheap, they can just get so many of them. Does Everthil have maritime? Is there a maritime in this? I think they got rid of maritime. They did. Time to look at the ledger. You can't, it's locked. Oh, you can't see it because it's behind my face. But in these multiplayer games, ledgers are locked. See, it's grayed out. Otherwise, I'd be using it a lot more heavily than I have been. Because if the ledger is locked in multiplayer, it's also locked to the observer, which is annoying. Maritime is blocked by taking naval. Oh, so they're mutually exclusive. I did not realise that. So that's why Everthil couldn't take economic, because they've already taken industrial? That's interesting. I'm going to need to try and play a game with those idea sets at some point. Maybe after the Gnomish hierarchy game is finished. I'll do a game with Adenica or something. Oh, in fact, the Gnomish Hierarchy developer reached out and said thanks for playing as the gnomes, been really enjoying the playthrough, and was suggesting that I get the GitHub update, which will include a whole bunch of other territories. So I might investigate that. I did initially say no, because I don't like playing with unstable versions of the game. But also I'm really curious about what those are like. I could at least show it off, see what the changes are, and then do a proper playthrough as one of the stable games. That's probably what I should do, actually. Do my bit to promote the upcoming work that they're doing. Passionade. What are your abilities again? Diplomats, leader shock, infantry combat. Because I would be really curious about doing a vampire Adenica. Chivalric vampires. I think that'd be kind of an interesting one. Oh, Jabir and Conwell are at war. The war that we've been awaiting for absolutely freaking years has kicked off. This is literally Conwell Anbennar versus Jabir Adenica. And at the moment it looks like Conwell's armies are better. 6.1 against 6. Jabir has better discipline. Jabir, of course, has their gnomish units, which means that their infantry is going to be very, very strong. And they have forts everywhere. But it is just Jabir against Anbennar and Conwell. And Conwell at this point has just grown bigger than they have. They've been a lot better at expanding. 300,000 manpower against 100. Force limit of 64 against a force limit of 168. Yeah, Jabir is in trouble here. And unfortunately their ally Adenica ain't going to be in a position to do anything because Crownvar for them is just a much bigger threat. And Conwell has enough artillery to just blast their way through these forts. Are you at least using edicts? Yeah, good. Yeah, Yeah, looks like they're just up against an overwhelming force, and I think after this is done, Conwell is going to arise as a significant player in this region. Like, they've had their bumps, they've had their ups and downs, but once they've taken out Jabert, I think they're going to become a lot more important in the politics of this region. What are Conwell's missions? Well, I'm pretty sure that taking down Jabert has been one of their missions for a long time. Have 1,000 ducats. Doesn't look like they actually have anything which is to take Jabert. Is Conwell just like a university or something? Development cost, tech cost, yeah. Super tech people. Interesting. I've never really looked at them before. Paper production, institute investment, patronize, master scholar, sift through the archives, press, archives, Rebellion Society. New wing of the university, bring in gnomish professors, dwarven instructors. Exchange program with Anbennar. 5 provinces with the university. Yeah, Conwell is just a university. Rule of the Conwellian Scholar Kings. Magical treatise after 2 years. Interesting. Oh, we've got another battle coming up. Alright, so we have got 105 discipline against 100. This is a -2 for Conwell. They are bringing in another 35,000. They have another 65,000 not too far away, and then Anbennar also bringing in another 30k. Conwell is losing this initial battle. I don't think their reinforcements are going to be able to arrive in time. There goes their front line. Artillery's in the front line. And Jabert has won a glorious victory there against the forces of Conwell. Jabert immediately moving in to try and intercept this Conwellian army. Hopefully they're shift consolidating as they move. And that's another 60k against 30k. This time they do have cavalry, so they are getting a little bit of a flank. Unfortunately, Jabert does not have enough infantry, really, to their forces, so they could probably do with investing a little bit more in infantry, so they have a bit more of a front line to use, because in that last battle they had artillery in the front line, because there were just more of them. But that was a pretty good series of victories there for Jabert. Inflicted 13,000 casualties and took 6. So are you using artificers? You are. You don't have very... Oh no, you do. Never mind. I was going to say you don't have very many of them. Totally untrue. You have quite a few. And if we take a look at the estates, they've got Vorpal bullets, which gives them... and magic missile deployers. The magic missile is the rocket launcher. That reduces shock damage received. And then Vorpal bullets, which is actually something I don't have in my Gnomish Artificer game, gives them 20% more land fire damage for Artificer regiments. So kind of like spark drive rifles. In fact, that would be a 40% bonus if you had spark drive and Vorpal. What's the most merchant trade nation, Anbennar? Probably Dame's Crown. But the problem with Dame's Crown is they don't currently have a mission tree. But Dame's Crown would basically be Venice. At the moment, BPEC. Yeah, BPEC's pretty trade orientated. That's true. The halflings down here. And I think that Vertesk is fairly trade too, being right at the head of Dame's Crown. And in fact, there are a couple here in the neck which are trade related, and I think a couple of the wine lords are also trade related. Like, basically they're all in this area. Lake Federation formable can be, though as we've seen in this game, they're not. In fact, speaking of the Lake Federation, we have the Phoenix Empire is down to just 46,000 manpower, and Soldier Sat's down to 87,000. And Soldier Sat's been using their army professionalism and can still ping away at that quite a lot more. Meanwhile, Ovdal Khanzad's continuing their own conflicts, going against Hulaz Krakazol, from whom they stole Hulaz Krakazol. And what about the fate of Necklif? Peaced out. And Ebethil's armies are freed up to go abroad once more. Oh no! Ebethil took a chunk of the Turtleback Isle, which has always been like Necklif's stronghold. I'd like to see Necklif allying with someone like Jordland and gaining a protector that way. Meanwhile, the violent struggle here continues. We are now at 5 million casualties. We've hit that mark. Chaos is fighting. Who are you fighting? Oh, Chaos is in the Kryanvar War. Alongside Adenica and Marhold. See, if Chaos came in with a lot of troops, they have the money to support. Actually, their manpower is a lot lower than you would kind of expect. And these are all vassals down there. They've still not taken out Lorenka. Is Haraf still alive? I'm amazed that Haraf is still alive. Because they're just independent. They're not allied to anyone. They're not a vassal. It's just free territory that hasn't been gobbled up yet. I guess the same as Osgarom and Lorenka. Although Lorenka at least has allies. And probably a couple of those. Oh, we got battles going on again. 60,000 Vern against 130,000 Arboran, allowing Lorent to chop up a bunch of Arboran forces. Is this at a -2? This is a -2. That's pretty horrible. That's a -1 for Arboran. I think I wouldn't have done that Vern attack. I would have just let them continue to throw troops into this -1 rather than taking the -2. Because here's the thing, Vern and Lorent, they have the numbers. They have got the numbers. They can afford to let the enemy try to flank them and then counter-flank. You don't need to do the flank yourself. Arboran losing 6,000 troops a tick. Ouch! And then Lorent probably, I was going to say, probably wants to move quickly to reinforce that fight, but maybe not, because that's a -2. Manpower check! Oh, so I was going to say, Lorent here at 107,000, except that they need to reinforce 81,000. So Lorent is about to run out. Vern still has 40,000, however they need 150,000 men for their armies. Yikes. However, let's see. Bjarnrik requires 240,000 and has 40. Arboran needs 100,000 and has 40. And there is another battle going on here. This is Vern taking another -2. Is this because Vern has actually been sieging here? No, they were just sent packing. So why is Vern picking this fight? This seems like a bad idea. An idea that Drakesguard clearly wants nothing to do with. You're outnumbered. You're taking a -2. This is a bad fight to be taking. You're just losing troops here for no real reason. Although they are actually inflicting a lot of damage for some reason. No, they're just getting very lucky on the rolls. Unless one of their opponents is bankrupt. Like, how are they doing this much damage? They have less discipline, they have less morale. Their general 566 versus a 666 is worse. They're on a -2. Now they're starting to take more damage. I don't understand why those... Yeah, how are they doing this? That's what I'm not getting. Knowledge military? Or maybe. Oh, have they... Miltech may be different. I'm going to just take a real quick look. Are you at... No, you're at 17. You're at 17. 17. 17. Everyone's 17. 18 is where the new cavalry and artillery comes in. Well, it looks like Vernside is losing. I don't think Lorent's going to get there in time. It's going to be a very last second save. Nope. So Lorent's going to come in late. They're going to suffer another -2. They have a worse general with a 3-2-1. Lorent is about to get absolutely beasted here. Outnumbered 2-1 as they are. Although, again, they're not taking a huge amount of damage from this. Lorent's discipline is really good, though. That might be why, just because Lorent has that plus 10, that 10% extra discipline. Meanwhile, Gibert and Conwell seem to have pieced out. We'll take a look at the damage over there in a minute. So it looks like Vern and Lorent are determined to take this place, because they are now losing quite a lot in this particular battle. I feel like this battle's gone on so long that some of the units that retreated from that previous battle have gone behind the lines, recovered their morale, and have marched back in again. In the time that this battle is still ongoing. This feels like a Victoria battle right here. Victoria 2, where those battles could last freaking years, as you're just sending hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of troops in. Meanwhile, we are now at a 6 million casualty rate, in case the 5 million wasn't enough. Arberand still needs another 92,000 to reinforce. Bjornrik needs 270,000. Lorent needs 121. Vern needs 193. Vern still has professionalism. Lorent still has professionalism. Bjornrik is running very low. They've got one more tick, and Arberand ran out some time ago. So Arberand is now going to be, I think, pretty much fully mercenary. Meanwhile, the attack on Adenica and Marhold by Kryenvar has been moving very slowly forwards. Kryenvar down to 100,000 manpower. Professionalism down to 40. These guys are holding out. Somehow. They have one tick of manpower to go. 9,000 in the bank. Marhold. No manpower in the bank. No professionalism. But both of them still trying, damn it. Meanwhile, Soldier Sat down to 72,000 manpower. Phoenix Empire down to 65. Right, so what happened to Jabert? That feels like they grew. I don't think they lost anything. Oh, yeah, some of their allies up here are dead. This seems to have been a fight against Ryland Temple more than Jabert proper. There you go. That's where the damage was done. And is Ryland Temple a vassal? Yes. So Jabert lost some of their vassals. And Conwell has changed tax. They are now Esmaria. What is an Esmaria? They still have the Conwellian ideas. However, they have... Nope, they still have the same missions. Looks like they're about to change their racial military. Or not. Their ideas are the same. Their missions are the same. Oh, unless they just haven't had the event where they change it. That's possible. Because this would have just happened. So they must have needed some of those lands in order to form Esmaria. As opposed to Conwell. Meanwhile, soldiers are once again pouring out of the pass. Volkogulen starting to take some territories back from Soldier Sat. Opening up a second front with 40k troops. Does Haraf have anything? No. Considering Haraf usually becomes a pretty major power, I'm a little surprised they don't. Osgarom is the Orcish realm. They also don't have anything special. Lorenka? Nope. Rezenkand. Always a popular choice. Rezenkand does have a mission tree. It has a very big mission tree. That is bloody massive. Yeah, you guys are Sun Cult. How are the religions looking out here? Religion Court, Coronite, Sun Cult. Gods of the Takend. Keonism. Religion Court doing pretty well over there. Elven Forebears, Religion Court. The Thought, Skildaric. The Thought. Spring Court. So it looks like colonially the Regent Court are doing better. And it does look like some of the Coronite converts over here are being switched back in the small country. Meanwhile, Marhold and Adenica continue to fight on. Krynvar's making quite a lot of money. Are they being bankrolled by anyone? Yes, they are. Anbennar cost. Probably because Adenica was allied to Conwell. And Adenica is being bankrolled by Chaos. Has Chaos managed to bring any troops over there? Because they could really do with those reinforcements. Where's Chaos? They're down here. Let's just see where your armies are. That's a no. So Chaos is not getting militarily involved, only economically. Oh, that was a battle. Phoenix Empire just lost another fight. They do have another 20k troops, which are about to get stack wiped. And Phoenix Empire are now down 81,000 troops. Professionalism, they can tap another 3 times. 4 if they hire another general. Meanwhile, Soldier Sat, 40k, and they can tap this many times, like 20 odd. 18, actually.